And the recording has started. So,
Hi, YouTube.
This is why we can't have nice
and
things.
right at the same time, I must take a moment because my son just woke up.
And on that note,
Yes.
back to the
alright.
action.
So, last we left off, the party had braved the perils of the wilds to finally make it to Katapesh, and had met with the contact from Alma, Rehan, who has taken charge of the scroll to study it. He has made it pretty apparent that it's going to take a bit of time. You are all welcome to stay here with him using the guest accommodations here, and you're welcome to share meals with him, although it may be a bit plain compared to your normal fare. But that is what it is. Pretty much, he's going to be spending every day going through his study, working bits of magic, doing some research, kind of giving you guys free reign. What do you guys want to do?
Liza will probably be quite curious in the knowledge, so she'll probably be spending a fair amount of time in the libraries as well.
I think I will be going to the city and just try human form and trying to gather rumors or just other information about things and just see what people are going on, what's going on, and what people are interested in general about like world events and stuff, and just kind of pick up on what people are troubled by, what they're wondering, what they're doing, what the gossip is.
Gotcha.
If you would like a diplomacy check, please let me know.
We'll definitely get to that.
When it comes to Zarala is spending a little bit of time in her room, sort of just like, writing, reading. She'll probably go out and have a chat with everybody at some point as well. Offer everybody some coffee, because she has quite nice coffee. And then she's probably going to look into the have a look around in the library, see if there's any books that she would like to read, and then probably go outside and just practice with her technique.
Libraries definitely sounds like a good idea too.
Fair enough. Well, on my end, I will not be going to the library.
You'll be bench pressing.
Not quite. What I will probably be doing is I will be looking and seeing what. I will also be looking around for a few rumors, but I will also be looking to seeing what kind of I guess how would you define it? I guess kind of like if there's any sellsword work around, any kind of bounties, anything kind of local that might be that might be able to get done while this guy's doing his research, because I get bored easily.
If I understand that Jaren is looking for this, I will include that in my. I will, of course, make reference of that if I find anything.
Okay.
Artemis? She's eating at the moment, so I got the text message that she will go along with Selenia.
All right.
From Meredith's point of view, what will she do? She will probably check in with the Pathfinder Association Society, as she is a member of that. Probably log any reports with any information that she needs to give them. Maybe not all of it, but most of the stuff that's been happening. She might try and listen down, see if there's any tidbits of information coming out of there that might be of use to her or to the party. Probably maybe go and visit the family again, just to sort of see her father more than her mother. And other than that, we'll probably just sort of hang out with Eliza, probably.
Alright. So, going through first couple of days, let's see, Eliza, you are, doing your thing, checking out the library. Rayhan does point out a few books here and there that he's okay with you reading, quite a bit more that he says he'd prefer you not touch due to their fragility. Selenia, go ahead and give me a diplomacy check for the first day or so. Okay. So you, with a success of that magnitude, you're able to pick up quite a few rumors. Specifically, you hear that, the Pact Masters are, pretty happy. A lot of word about Calmoraine being revitalized. So your exploits have definitely garnered some attention in the right places. You also hear a few rumors about some less than happy individuals. You hear about a group called the One. What was it? Make sure I said this one right. The One Source Merchant Group. They've been getting quite a nasty reputation of having some suspicious luck when it comes to their dealings. They try to, someone outbids them, suddenly a warehouse of theirs catches fire, or someone goes missing. People are starting to put two and two together and are thinking that there's something bad behind them. There's actually a little curiosity as to why there hasn't been an investigation from the Pact Masters yet, since their only rule is not to interfere with business, and this is
interfering with business.
Definitely stepping into that realm.
I'll share that with the group. That everything seems to be going good in the city as far as people are concerned, except for the One Source.
You also have heard, specifically, someone actually makes it very, very badly known that they had heard of your recent arrival and your possession of something of a curiosity.
So
where was such a thing heard?
They do not give out any specifics as to where they get out. They keep that pretty quiet. However, the person introduces themselves as Marzouk, middle son of the Musad merchant family.
Where did I encounter this person is what I'm asking. Where did this come from? Is this like the richer part of town?
So basically you're in the markets, and this man makes a very bad attempt to accidentally encounter you.
Okay.
So we were sought out.
Makes it very, very
So then you're
clear
in a
that
human
should you
form.
wish to part ways with the curiosity, he would be very happy to assist you.
Oh, and out of curiosity, what is this person offering for it?
Take a look here.
It's like, I don't know. I didn't expect to get this far.
And you would, of course, need to meet with the others. So, should I be interested in speaking to you further about this, where can we meet?
He says
Because I don't carry because this is not something I would carry with me, obviously.
Yes, and he thanks your discretion for that fact. He says that Rehan would be able to contact him quite easily, being a very well-known merchant family. And he does reveal that if the scroll were proven to be what it is, or
So he does say it's scroll,
No.
so he does know it's a scroll. Okay, so he knows exactly what it is.
if it is proven to be what it is rumored to be, his family is offering 50,000 in gems or coin, whatever is your preference.
Understood. Of course, I know nothing about this, but that's
Of course, of course.
good enough. That's definitely something I'll also bring to the party's attention, that this person knows, and Rehan would know how to contact him should further questions be desired.
Yeah. So when you would tell me that, I would probably be quite concerned that means
Yes.
that we've probably been exposed.
Oh, yes. Not only that, the fact that they know exactly what it is.
And where we are, which means
Yes.
we're going to be receiving
Exactly.
trouble at some stage.
Yes, exactly.
So time
This is,
limited.
yeah, concerning, but what can we do? I mean, we can pack up and leave, but if they've already known this much, they're going to know that too.
Yeah, so probably best just to prepare for what comes.
Yep.
All right. So, Jaren, I'll need a diplomacy check from you.
Sure. Just get on some my skills.
All right. So, with that check, you are able to find a couple of standing contracts out, a couple of wanted bounties, a couple of escort services, and a couple of just part-time, basically bouncer work as a local
Blue Squad.
merchant. His current guard is out sick, so he needs someone to fill in.
Okay. Fair enough. They seem easy enough contracts. Yeah, I would, yeah, I'll probably, yeah, I'd just take probably one of the bodyguard ones. They're easier enough and the pay's decent. I'd probably ask if any of the other. I basically take all the details, go back, ask if anyone else in the party would be kind of interested if they're bored, because I am. And yeah.
Okay.
Zarala would, you know, if Zarala was to hear about it, she'd probably turn around and say, I'm always up for honing my craft and learning new things. One can always pick up on information from jobs such as this. So if you do need my blade, it is available for you. I do not seek payment, only knowledge.
I'm not 100% sure what you're going to learn, but if you want to join, you're welcome.
Pretty sure Jaren's like, good, more money for me.
I'll incline my head and say, when you leave, let me know and I shall depart alongside you.
Sure. I'll let you know.
Okay.
And after I've, I guess sorted out whatever.
So,
I suppose I will also let Rehan, I think it was, let him know that knowledge of the scrolls already gotten out.
got it. So Jaren, was there any of those in particular that you wanted to pursue?
The bodyguard for the merchant.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me either an intimidate or a profession check.
It will be intimidate.
Alright.
Almost as high as it could be.
You are
Not
the
bad.
best bodyguard.
I love how your intimidation was higher than your diplomacy. It's just so you.
It's only a roll.
Diplomacy's got a better bonus.
Yeah.
It's because I don't really use intimidate for much. If it gets to that point, I'll just whack him with a hammer. Like,
Nothing's more intimidating than a hammer upside the head.
Yeah, so
It's
you
more
spend the
threatening.
day, guarding the stall of this merchant. Your very presence seems to make a very nice buffer, and the merchant enjoys a nice, quiet day because of you. However, there was one meeting of note. While there was a small party of guards along with a merchant, and one of the guards very casually made a contact with you and introducing herself as Badra. She herself was once a mercenary in service to a merchant, as you currently are, but she kind of took a more personal interest in the business of that merchant when she acquired the ownership of the merchant group after having been failed to have been paid.
right.
So put her in quite a unique position where she is more in touch with the working man, this mercenary, and she could always appreciate someone of similar talents.
Okay. Right. What was the name?
Badra. Badra.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Oh yeah.
she does give you a little slip of paper as she and her party leaves.
Okay. I'll I'll take a glance at it after they've left. But if it's longer than say like if it's more than just like a short note, I'll save it for later.
There's definitely more than just a line of writing. Just a quick skim. The thing that stands out to you is that there is a figure kind of in the middle for 35,000.
Okay. Okay, I'll slip the note in a pocket for now, and I'll read it after I'm done with this job. It doesn't work to be distracted.
Yeah. So the rest of the day passes by without incident, and you collect your. The merchant asks, if you're going to be in town much longer, if you'd like to continue hiring you, or he can pay you the day's wage and look for someone else.
I will say that I'll say that I'll be here for the next few days. And after that, I can't be certain. So let's just make this day by day, cash in hand.
Very well. And with that, he hands over 3 gold for you.
Yeah, nice. It's bread and butter work. Pays for board, basically. Yeah. Yeah. One thing. While all this would have been happening, I would have since Zavala did ask to come, I would have let her know, and so I imagine she would have just been in the background, basically, and I would have, and this is just very boring. It is just standing around, looking vaguely tough.
Look menacing.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's more important to look deadly than actually be deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, yeah, Zoral, you were hanging out and keeping watch from across the street as well. So, let's see. Artemis, you were hanging out with Selenia, had all the fun with her. Meredith, so you make your way to the local Pathfinder Society branch here in Katapesh. It's a respectable building, nothing grandiose or extravagant. Just a nice, simple, one-story building, but very well made, very well situated on a central street. And you find out that they are asking for a lot of paperwork for you.
Great.
You did not fill out any of the prerequisite forms all the way back from the Kelmarain adventure.
Great. And there's me thinking I'd sent it all to them. Obviously, they didn't get it.
Well, they got it, but they need it in proper format with triplicate of certain forms and notarizations. So you spend the day pretty much cooped inside, filling out form after form after form.
Oh, gee, what fun.
The side of heroing and adventuring they don't see.
This is why you be a cash on demand mercenary. No questions, no forms, just money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I'll spend the day doing paperwork. Gives me something to do.
Yeah. Alright. So, as the day comes to a close and you all gather for the night, are you going to be taking your repast with Rehan, or going about in the business for eateries, or...
Given that Rayhan's place is known about, and this is where people are going for potentially, well, they know the scroll is here, I think I'd prefer staying near here.
As would I.
I think I would agree with you on that point. I don't think there is even a second's thought that we go outfit in, and this is clearly...
we could probably be attacked any day.
Clearly, once again, as of before, information of what we were carrying and what we were doing and where we were is out there, which is alarming that they know quite so much.
Money can loosen the lips of even the most timid of folk.
They're not
Fear.
bought, but it can be rented remarkably cheaply.
Quite.
But
When
it's
I
also
do get
possible
back,
they had spies already in Cadapesh or Calmoraine, so they could have had spies there already feeding them info.
it's kind of pointless to theorise this happened. No point worrying about it. Yeah. One thing I would do is I would want to read that note and work out what this 35,000 figure is referenced to.
So, the note is speaking of the fact that, given her past experience, she is now the owner of a very sizable little trade empire. Very well-known caravan in the region, and as such she has contacts throughout the land, some of which would pay very dearly for the item in their possession, once confirmed. This is merely her opening bid and as a sign of friendship, but warns against taking too many offers for such an object.
So it's another offer for the scroll.
Indeed.
So do we want to try and put up an auction here and see who we can get coming?
That sounds like a very good way to get all powerful people to
Very,
get pissed
very
off at us
angry.
in the one
Yes,
in
it
the
would.
same place.
Yes, it would.
Okay. Well, speaking of this, Rehan would say that the current custom would be to throw a dinner party. Maybe you've already had offers from 2 such sources. If the party wished to find a third, you could then start setting about organizing such an event. He would, of course, provide the food and such, but it would be up to you to provide entertainment.
I'd be generally advising against this kind of thing because if
Yes.
might be attacked, the last thing I want to do is start bringing people within the defences.
Agreed.
I mean, the one thing I would,
And also more personal reasons why she would not want this thing being sold.
The one thing I would say is, personally, is this, like, as fun as all these decisions are, is this to do with us? Like, are we, like, surely we are not the arbiters of this scroll?
No. The thing
scroll is your possession, he says.
Well,
Right now, he is merely studying it and verifying the veracity of it being the scroll of Kakashan. If you are so inclined, it is custom to throw such a party if you are engaging in the act of selling. This sort of item would not ever be allowed to be put up in a public auction. Such auctions are crass to the upper crust, and it would almost be an insult to the interested buyers to try and do such a thing. But if you wished to keep the item to yourself, have no wish to sell it, Rehan could certainly have such rumors spread about.
Politely saying no.
Zarala would. I don't know how much Zarala would know about this scroll, who owns it, where it sort of came from. But if Zarala would be knowledgeable about the fact of it is Alma who asked for this scroll to be looked at by Rayhan, then
Alma
she would probably would have mentioned, surely when it comes to the procurement of this scroll from outside parties, surely it would be this Alma woman who asked for this scroll to be looked at. Surely it would be her decision.
Alma's the one who provided the introduction. That's about all.
So does this scroll belong to us or her?
I see it
Scroll is
as
yours.
yeah.
It's us.
So
Well,
if we sold it, if
ownership
we
of
were
it.
to sell this scroll, then the money from the sale would be the parties.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, if Zarala would know about any of this to begin with, obviously she knows there's a scroll. She knows that you guys have brought the scroll here. It's nothing to do with her yet. She would just say, well, depending on how much damage the scroll could potentially cause, I suppose you'd need to know who you're selling it to.
I'm not
However-
suggesting.
Potentially
However-
incalculable.
I am not
However-
suggesting actually selling this. I'm suggesting trying to find, suggesting the fact that there's a lot of interest in this. There's already a lot of people who want this, and if there's people here who are interested in acquiring it legitimately, there are going to be as many, at least, who are interested in acquiring it illegitimately.
I think
Let's-
trying to bring them in would be a bit too risky. It's very little chance of success and very potentially serious consequences.
I mean,
There is
I'm not one for all this fancy
Dinner party.
buying and
monarchy.
selling, but I imagine these kind of things have rules, spoken and unspoken, and I imagine you can piss off a lot of people, even incidentally. But if we mess around with this sort of thing, I'd say we just tell them kindly to piss off, and we're not selling.
Meredith would probably look at Jaron and say, that's kind of what I would have said, but maybe not as bluntly. This scroll is powerful. It should not be sold to anyone.
Agreed.
And until we know what it is and what it does, we should be very careful of guarding its protection. If they're going to come, they're going to come. We'll just have to deal with it when it does.
Because
This
if we had a
city-
dinner party, they may infiltrate with the guests, and if that could cause a lot
Yeah.
more complications.
Yeah.
At
The
least this
nobility-
way, we keep only they will attack us. The others will stay clear.
The nobility will, if they want to get hold of it, will get hold of it whatever way they can. I'm sure that if we keep our ears to the ground in the right places, and she'll look at Jaren, we will find out if any mercenaries, as it were, have been given such a contract.
They already have. We were attacked on our way here.
And I've already had an offer from a ex-mercenary, now trade merchant.
Which means they know what we are and who we are.
Exactly. And
So
that's
they know
why I'm
every single
saying
one of us. With the exception of probably the newest arrival, but either way, they know us.
Well, I think we should sit tight and see what they do. I think we have no choice in this matter. This should never be sold, and this is just one of those things that happens when interest is piqued, but due to an artifact of this magnitude.
I would potentially say it might be a good idea if we have someone take watch over the scroll. Obviously, I do understand Rayhan has his magical protection around this place, and I am sure while that would be more than enough to deter the majority of people who would be interested in taking the scroll through illegitimate means, It may just help to have a couple of eyes watching the scroll. Maybe it would be a good idea for us to take shifts, maybe? Just to keep watch to make sure there's no funny business going on from external sources.
I don't think it's such a bad idea that we have some sort of watch on. Rayhan has obviously got this place quite tightly magically defended, but
A watch.
you could never go over the top with defense, I don't think.
A watch definitely wouldn't hurt, but most likely what's going to happen is if we're not going to sell it, which I absolutely agree with, that we should not, what's going to happen is it's going to be somebody going to make an attempt for it once we leave.
In that case, maybe we should have someone, maybe groups of 2 of us, who stay to protect the scroll whilst others are out.
No, I mean when we leave, once its authenticity has been verified, if they're going to either try and deal with Rayhan directly to see if they can convince him to part with it before returning it to us, or when we leave Rayhan's permanently, an attempt will be made on it.
I'd like to see him try.
Yes. I would like to see them try.
Sure. If I were to make the attempt, I know how I'd do it.
Well, then that's one advantage we have.
We need to stick together. I could very much see somebody being taken hostage and trying to be traded for the scroll.
Nobody leaves without the rest of the party, and the party doesn't leave without the scroll.
That is true, but
Look,
if I may, I know I have no ties into your group at all. However, I do not like to see people getting hurt. It's something I try my best to stop. I would suggest that maybe it would do good if we had a system. Nobody leaves alone. We travel in groups of 2. That way, at least everybody has somebody watching their back.
Agreed that we should have somebody watching our back. However, with the amount that people want this scroll, we do need to be careful.
Yeah, but look, it's a lot of effort to hire people and get people in place to do some kind of nefarious kidnap, steal, theft attack, and that's going to be something they're going to want to avoid. So as long as they think they can deal with us without extending all their resource, they'll do it because that's cost effective.
Which is why I suggested potentially trying to see if we could gather those interested in one place.
I don't think. Yeah.
Not necessarily one of us that would even be taken hostage. We all have family.
Look, they're not going to do anything too strenuous, because if they do, the Packmasters will be on them in a second. Because, powerful scroll or not, you don't fuck around with business. And any sort of activity will most doubtably fuck around with business.
Well, there seems to be some that are exempt from that. This source group seems to be.
I don't know, maybe they're worth a look.
Or maybe they've
I
always
just
been
think
borderline,
I'm
but
just
not
I'm just
quite
I'm just not gonna
insulting
sit in this place jumping at shadows that may
No.
or may not try and rob me. So
No, all I'm saying is we need a plan. So do we? Who's gonna hang on to the scroll?
You had it last time.
I thought we said Artemis.
Artemis had it because of
Dorado
the
was carrying it.
Artemis was because of the bag of
Yeah.
holding and things like that.
Have it.
and you could fly.
Yep.
And it goes to Artemis. It was good enough then, it should be good enough now.
But yeah.
If Artemis is happy with that,
I'm fine with that.
then we have an accord.
At the very least, if we aren't going to take any special actions, we should at least warn, I guess, Meredith's family that that they're potentially just to be careful because powerful individuals are trying to get to her.
Considering the business that my family are in, they will probably be aware of it. If not directly, indirectly. They'll have heard. This is the sort of thing they're asked to go and get.
Then why haven't they even made an offer with you yet?
Likely because at this moment in time they're being shrewd. They don't get involved violently with things, and also because they know what's here. They will know. She said she'll intimate to you without kind of saying it that they are aware that Meredith holds draconic power. They won't know about the other two, but they'll be aware that there is a dragon about. So they'll be careful. And they may not have been asked to go and procure it. It's just something they might be asked to go and procure it. It's the sort of thing they do. So if they haven't asked, they haven't been. If they haven't asked or made an offer directly, it means that somebody hasn't hired them yet. So yes, she would warn them that there may be some danger with.
And the last question I have for now is: it's only a matter of time before it's identified and confirmed what it is. Where do we go from here? Once we have it, once we know know for certain what it is.
Well, I guess the question is either we find somewhere we can leave this thing, be it some, I don't know, group of powerful, benevolent wizards, or we just throw it in an ocean. I don't know.
Or do we? Or depending on what it can do, we ourselves might need to use it for something.
I think we need to know what it does and how powerful it is, whether we know it's quite powerful. And then Jaren is right. We either find some safe spot where we know it's going to be placed in a vault, never to be touched, and we can trust the keepers of this place, or we use it ourselves. But carrying it around is like having a target on our back.
Exactly.
How many days would have gone by this point of us being here? Pathrax?
So this has all just been the first 2 days.
The other point is, whatever we do, we need to make sure that we have a plan of how we get there as stealthily as possible.
Back in a second, guys. Just pop out there.
Stealth isn't going to happen.
No.
When
it's
I mean
already been
stealth,
exposed.
when I mean stealth, I mean yes, we are watched and we are being scrutinised. So it's going to be very difficult to abscond in any way without somebody knowing. But you can always try and limit the amount of what they know, or element of surprise, that kind of thing, to give us a head start. Any advantages we can get, we need to make sure we can get them. We have to try and stay one step ahead.
Oh, I'm back.
The other point to make is that if they know about the scroll, they may not know of what's guarding it. So, in other words, do they know that there are three draconic entities watching over this? A guy with a hammer, a guy with a hammer that's pretty lethal. A samurai, and of course a bard that is very talented, because we've all come in, especially the draconic ones, we've all come in human form, so we haven't necessarily shown our colours unless the information comes. Or do they know about the incident on the road?
Well, they identified Selenia. They identified me in
They
a
probably
human
know.
form.
So they probably
Enough
already
to
know
know
us.
about enough to know that we had the scroll. So
They probably might know about Artemis myself.
I would think so.
That's a bind, because that would have been a nice little element of surprise for them.
I mean, no offense, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because if they're desperate enough, they'll do it anyway, just
They will.
because it might work. So
I wasn't thinking of it in that way. I was thinking of it more in the way of if they're going to try, they're going to try. If they're desperate enough, it's, oh shit, we hadn't counted on this.
So
An element of
try and figure out what it is first.
So yeah, I don't think we could talk about this all day and all night, but at the end of the day, they know we're targeted. We just got to deal with it when it happens.
Well, one way to deal with it is if we give the impression that we are selling it to someone that they would not want to deal with, and then make show to deliver it to that place.
Who would that be?
Good question.
Who's the most powerfulest person on this planet that would trust us with play along with such a game for us without blowing our cover, without actually wanting the thing, but everyone would go, holy shit, we're not dealing with that.
I'm sure there's some miracle out there somewhere.
I do have a suggestion who you could leave the scroll with if you so wished.
Oh, I'm not suggesting we actually leave it with them. I'm saying we make show that we are going to, so that way people will either attempt to take it from us while we're delivering it, or attempt to deal with them and stay out of our hair.
It works the same, whether or not you give it to him or not. You might find that actually it might be a good idea to leave the scroll with this person.
And that is?
Pethrax, what's the main city in Golorian, the biggest city in Golorian?
Would you know?
I mean,
I'm a researcher, so yes, I would probably know. I spend a lot of my time in books. I'm pretty sure I would know. You know.
that would be Absalom.
Okay, that's the biggest city, like the main capital.
It is called the city at the center of the world.
Okay.
It's also a hell of a long way away from here.
Yeah.
We'd be
Yeah,
probably
no, that is fair enough. It might be a very long way. I would suggest maybe you have a chat with the High Wizard of the city of Absalom.
Oh yeah,
I
because
doubt-
wizards
I
are well
doubt
known
you-
for leaving powerful things well alone.
I doubt you would find a more powerful protection for the scroll in all of Galorian. Being the High Wizard of the biggest capital city of the world, you would have to come with some level of power. And I think that could possibly be a deterrent for anybody who would wish to take the scroll. If anything, I think it would rather force people to have to deal with the scroll in transit. At least you'd know it would be safe.
I think I refer
least
back
that-
to my previous point of, no offense, but in my general experience, wizards don't know when to leave the hell alone, and I don't think they would just kindly let us go, hey, do you want to pretend you're having this all-powerful scroll? Yeah, sure, thanks. I can't see that working so well.
It was merely a suggestion. It matters not really to me. The scroll has nothing to do with me. It is yours. I'm just giving some advice, is all. That is if you do not want to keep it for yourself. I mean, personally, I would think twice about taking a scroll from 3 dragons and a... Well, to put it the only way I would know how to, you, and I would gesture to Jaren.
It's already been tried.
So the whole second thought doesn't apply anymore. They've already attacked us multiple times. If that was surely a deterrent, we wouldn't have been attacked the first time. So I'm afraid I don't think that power or strength alone is going to stop who we face. No disrespect intended to your mage, obviously. But I don't think titles or apparent power is going to stop these people. Especially
Petra, could I do a knowledge check on just to see if Zarala would know of anywhere that would be safe to either leave or pretend to leave the scroll, where the name or mention of the place would sort of deter people.
Give me an intelligence check.
Just a flat intelligence check, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think my intelligence is that great, but...
Are you talking about character sheet?
Alright, so you've been around the party for a day or two, have heard Rayhan going on about his findings so far, and you're starting to piece together just how amazing this item could be if it turns out to be the Scroll of Kakashan. Like, this is something that nations would fight over. Not something that any one person or family or name could ever deter someone determined to acquire this.
So it didn't matter who we pretended to leave it with, they would still be attacked regardless.
Like, the fact that you haven't already been accosted or anything, it proves that rumors may be getting out, but they're very limited, and the people in question are still biding their time to see if it's even real. Just
Right.
the prospect is enough for these people to take notice, but they're still limiting it.
So nothing imminent.
In that case, thinking about it, if no matter where we leave it or who we pretend to leave it with or whether we guard it ourselves, people, if this scroll does turn out to be what it could possibly be, then maybe the only option that I could see that would keep all parties safe would potentially be the destruction of it.
Yeah,
That's
good luck
all
with that. Yeah, I don't think we can just. I don't think that's gonna work.
Especially
what I
if it
remember,
contains powerful magic, destroying it could cause a very catastrophic event.
If you could destroy it,
Yes, and the force needed to do so could cause something even worse.
Rayhan, would that be possible? Is that even a possibility?
Eliza at this moment is probably trying to do a mental calculation that if a powerful vessel like that was destroyed, what would the blast do if it were to just explode in magic?
We already know that it's a there is something to do with a demi-plane, from what I remember, what was already said.
I'd presume that this plane would be lost, and if it could be destroyed, but whatever.
I'm just more trying to think would the destruction possibly have an effect in our plane? Because we don't really know what it does, so I have to act on the assumption that it could cause catastrophic damage to our plane as well. That's what Eliza is going at so far. So we can't really destroy it.
The only thing that I'm trying to do here is say there is no doubt somebody's going to come after us. I'm just trying to come up with a plan where we can set the grounds in such a way that we decide where they're going to do this. If we're saying we're putting it with so and so, their only hope is to try and get it, or their easiest chance is to try and get it before we get to so and so's place. If we make sure that we're going to sell it, then their opportunity to get it would be before so and so tries to buy it or anything like that. Let's set up a scenario where we set the grounds where they're going to try and take it, and then defend the hell out of it at that point, and see if we can figure out who it is and what. Or at least, if there's multiple parties, we potentially try and pit them against each other.
In a magically fortified area.
That's my thought.
No need to leave one defensive position if we're already in one.
I mean, Charlie, you could always build a defensive position.
Yeah, but that takes time.
Yeah, but you could build it to be the most defensive position ever.
Yeah,
Every corridor.
I'd probably get murdered by guilds.
Oh.
You know how most sieges end, right?
Yeah, it ends with starving, primarily. Either the walls are breached, you breach the wall, or you starve the defenders into submission. Usually the latter.
Hmm.
And this place is not built up for a siege.
You have the lyre.
I have the
You can
lyre,
build
but
it
I
up.
can't build food.
No, you can't, but we have potentially ways around that. There is a farm.
You said to just dig a hole, dig a long tunnel out of here.
No,
You have
'cause
the
that's
wire.
in.
Regardless, I'm not going to spend the next part of my life in hiding
No,
because people want a magical scroll. My opinion. If we find out if it's confirmed or not, however long that takes, and then once it is, we then see how it lies. But I'd say and in terms of all these offers, ignore them. They can wait. They're the ones who are We're in a hurry.
If we confirm what this scroll is, we can always ask Alma for advice.
How long did it take us to get here?
I don't know.
Nice.
Few days.
Was
And a
it like
ride
a
will
day?
move faster. Or we can just send out one of our dragons to fly and get there. Because you did
That's-
that when I got sealed in amber, like you flew back at full tilt back to Calmaraine.
That's kind of what I'm proposing.
So we send a runner.
But again, then that brings there's no ideal. There's everything's going to come with some risk at this point.
Zarala's gonna just sort of pipe up and say, I could always teleport us back to Calmaraine.
You can do so.
Pethrax, how does my artifact work?
Of
I know
course,
I've
we were
got, I know I've
waiting
got
for
the
that
ability to
time.
teleport.
If it's as a spell, then it will depend.
Yeah, it depends on the spell.
Let me have a look.
Because if it's teleport, yes. If it's dimension door, no.
Hold on.
I didn't read the instruction manual. Now I need help.
This is why George does Barbarian. The only instruction manual is apply to skull of somebody else.
Have you seen my buffs, Charlie? Do you want to try and play my character? Have you seen all my variables? Barbarian is not easy. If I went simple, I'd play a fighter.
The sword grants the wielder the
I
ability
still
to
see
either
what
slip
you've
or
done
tighten
with
the
them.
bonds in the physical world, granting her the ability to cast Dimension Door, Dimension Lock, or Greater Teleport.
Greater teleport is.
If I really wanted to, I could have just got, like, as a level 4 spell, I could have just gone for Bardic Escape. I just teleport everyone back to a predetermined point.
Teleport does have a risk of failure.
Does greater though?
It
Probably a
might.
lesser chance.
Okay, so at Greater Teleport, there's no range limit, no chance you arrive off target. So it instantly transports you to the designated location. You can bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed your maximum load. You may bring one additional willing, medium, or smaller character, or its equivalent per 3 caster levels. So I have to see, caster level is 20. So that would mean 6 additional medium-sized creatures could come with you.
So I could basically teleport the entire party back to Calmaraine.
Potentially. Yeah. Was it next level spells was I could just go, oh, by the way, party, funk. We're going somewhere else because emergency.
I mean, I guess that's one way of traveling with more immediacy. Doesn't really solve the problem at hand necessarily.
No, but it throws whoever's watching us off guard because they unless they are already watching the other location that we end up going, they wouldn't necessarily know immediately where we are.
That is true.
Yeah, it makes them kind of like lose track of exactly where we are.
Which gives us an opportunity to potentially hide the scroll or other things. Especially if we can find a hiding space, a hiding place, and we teleport there.
I hate to interrupt, but I have to restart my computer.
Okay.
Not a problem. I'm going to actually take this moment to step out for a moment. Gotta let my dog out. And you guys
We
can
have like
continue
5
to
minutes?
discuss.
Do
Yeah,
we
about
have like 5 minutes? I'm gonna heat up my pizza. I'll be right back.
Alright, and back.
Sure.
I may not be much help in the research process, but if I can speed it up by even a little bit, surely that's got to be worth our effort.
You think you can help? Be my
It's better
guest.
than-
This is not my.
Better
This
than
has
me stood
nothing to do
around
with
not
my
doing anything.
expertise. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'll just be here playing a flute or an instrument. At most, I'll give you the choice to pick which one.
Yes, well, I'm feeling a little restless. I may go and have a look at that group you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm just going to request that Charlie plays the tale of Ragnar the Red.
If it can be played on a flute or string instrument, and you find me the music sheet, then sure, I'll play whatever you damn like.
Well,
There once was a hero came
No
Ragnar
name
the Red.
Ragnar the Red, who came riding to Whiterun from Muldroric Stead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Anyhow, regardless, yeah, I think we'll just get on with ourselves, and if they come for the scroll, they come from the scroll. I'm sure we'll be powerful enough to deal with it if they do, but I think they'll play a very safe and soft game until everything is confirmed. It's very annoying to kill people over something that you don't know is actually valuable. So
They'll want to confirm all their intelligence first before planning a strike.
particularly over something this important. So anyway, I'm gonna go and I will. That's what I recommend. And at some point, I'm gonna have a look into this group you mentioned. I can't remember what they were called now. It's slipped my mind.
Was it the first source or something?
Yeah. Have a look around in some of the taverns and markets. See who are the movers and shakers. If they are doing anything destructive, maybe see what's going on.
Alright, so what have you all decided?
So I might stick out, try and help with a little bit with the research onto the scroll.
Well, I think, at least from my understanding, we're
Fortify.
we're not hosting any parties. We're not mentioning that we're going to sell. We are going to mainly wait until Rayhan has confirmed its provenance, and once that has happened,
Where do we go
Then-
from there?
basically, because
Cross that bridge when we get there.
Well,
Because
where would we go if we didn't have the scroll?
we'd be in the service of Armor still, so presumably we'd go back to Cal Moraine and continue dealing with the hobgoblins. Because I think, if I remember correctly, there was some shit going down there anyway. But I don't know.
Cool.
Okay. So you mentioned that, Rehan, that you will not be putting the scroll up for sale. Eliza, you decide to offer some assistance. Basically, Rehan has you kind of not running errands, but helping him select certain books for him to reference, assisting with some spells and whatnot over the next couple of days. For the most part, everything goes by without any further incident. Jaren, you continue to work as a bodyguard, guarding this stall, being paid 3 gold a day. Zarala, you're bored. You're just kind of strolling around, making some contacts, practicing, and getting some exercise in with Jaren at the end of the day. The end of the 4th day, Zoral, on your way home from going out and about, you are approached by how to explain this one? You're approached by a balded halfling, rather short and rather rounded. He introduces himself as a scout and agent of a certain guild, and his job is to seek out attractive new prospects and exotic artifacts. Makes it very clear that he knows what the party has in their possession, and that his guild is best suited for such a sensitive matter.
Good day. As much as I wish I could be of assistance, unfortunately, the dealings of the scroll is not of my concern. The scroll has nothing to do with me. If you wish, please take up your conversation with one of the others. However, I would ask that you allow us our time to make our decisions, and then we shall inform you.
Of course. No need to rush these things. And so a decision has not yet been made. All offers are still being considered.
To my knowledge, yes.
Wonderful.
However, I will inform everybody that you have shown your interest. May I take a name and a place of contact so that I may pass it along to the others?
Of course. My name is Tamir, and we here are known as the One Source Merchants Guild. I'm sure you'll find us and come to the right decision as to who to do business with.
Okay, so I'm guessing I know that name because of my discussions with Jaren on going along with jobs that he was going on.
So, basically every night you guys have been having dinner together, so Selenia, I'm sure, would have made mention of the rumors that she had found through the city during her day.
Day one. I thought I mentioned that I'd bring up the source to the group. I thought I did.
You did.
Ah, I see. Yes, I have heard of your group. Did you have anything else you wish for me to pass along? Any kind of offers? Anything like that?
We will start at a very modest 30,000. Of course, we understand that this would be only the opening gambit in a very profitable exclusion with you, so I look forward to hearing from you and your wise decisions. Have a good day.
And you
at that, I will need you to make a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Get the character sheet open. Skills. What the bloody hell is perception? There it is.
And kind of caught off guard by his the abruptness of his ending, you miss where he kind of melts into the crowd surrounding you.
So he just disappears.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, when I get back to the house with the others, after doing whatever it is I was doing out and about that day, I will go up to everybody and say, I have some news you may find rather interesting.
Yes.
It seems we've been approached by another group in regards to the scroll.
Go on.
I've just had a lovely little chat with a rather rounded fellow named Tamia of the, what was it, the
One Source Merchant Guild.
It was, the one something.
One source.
Ah, that's the one. Yes, that's the one. The One Source Merchant Group. They have officially thrown in their interest to the scroll and offered their first bid for it. They have made a bid of 30,000 for the scroll and said that they anticipate us getting back to them and wanted to let us know that their 30,000 is just the opening bid in what they assume will be a rather grand auction.
What did you say to them, if you don't mind me asking?
I told them I would discuss it with you, that no decisions have currently been made, and that we will get back to them once a decision has been reached.
At this moment, I probably glance at Meredith relatively sharply.
Same glance back. Roll of the eyes.
It looks like it's no longer a rumor that we have it now. I think it's now been completely confirmed.
I never said that we had it.
I think that ship has long sailed and everyone was really just being rather polite about it all. I don't think it really matters.
Indeed.
It just
With the
means we
amount
have
of
less time.
attention that we've attracted, I think it's probably common knowledge now that we have this item which may or may not be what everybody seems to be thinking it is. It is none of my concern as to what is done with this scroll. I just told them that I would pass on their offer and their message to yourselves.
For the amount of people who want this thing and they're offering this price, exactly what can somebody do people believe they can do with this thing that's making it so valuable?
Isn't it, from what I remember, doesn't it open...
It opens a demiplane.
Into, is it like a vault?
It's rumored that, has like rumors as like part of it is like this great reliquary that could contain like all manners of treasures and weaponry of magical and non-magical kinds. More than enough to justify a very substantial investment.
Seems like the perfect tool to start a war with, if you ask me.
It wouldn't even require a second thought to declare war. I'd argue you wouldn't even need the first thought.
So if there is this...
If this does turn out to be the scroll of... What was it? The scroll of Kakashan?
Indeed.
If it does allow access to this grand stash of weaponry and treasures, surely wouldn't it be a good idea if we were to merely just
look ourselves
for ourselves? That way, once we've done our own, after we've done our own inventory and stock of what is contained within this scroll, then we can decide as to what to do with the scroll. If it's merely blades, gold, gems, then we can decide what to do with that. If there does turn out to be some rather powerful magical artifacts, then, and only then, once we've established what is actually contained within, then we can make a decision, or then you can make a decision as to what to do with it. There's no point in imagining that the end of the world could be in this scroll when actually it could just turn out to be a fair size of gold.
Because opening it could have the end of it. The fact is, it's only legend. Nobody really knows what's in this thing. The knowledge has been lost for long, long times. Probably best to find out a bit more before we do so.
This is
Not to mention, we don't know what if there's any further defenses inside, and if we open it, what might come out.
Yes, because it's been quite known that sometimes you may make a demiplane to keep something trapped. Like it could be just like some of the rumors say. It could be
A prison.
a kind of vault, or it could indeed be a prison with something that really should never have the chance to get out again. So we'll assume that it's the latter and proceed on that basis.
I've just got this whole thing of just Jaren holding this scroll in front of a volcano and Selenia behind him, cast it into the fire. Just Jaren knowing what's inside. No.
He's already got what he needs.
I don't know.
He's probably shrugging and asked how much.
However, I imagine that would have been more George's previous character. There is billions and billions and gold and gems in this scroll.
Notches an arrow.
Puts an explosive bolt just to be sure.
Yeah. Again, we are arguing about future points which may or may not have relevance. That these people have contacted us is not a surprise, and I'm surprised it has taken them so long.
They are waiting for confirmation.
So is everyone.
So now they've got it.
Well, they've got some form of confirmation.
I can imagine
They thought
there's
they
more
thought
activity in the next
they
few days.
thought we had a scroll. They now know we have a scroll. They still don't know if we have the scroll. But that's beside the point. Again, there is very little for us to do proactively apart from investigation into these people might be prudent, considering they seem to be very, from your wording, very confident and very forward, I guess you could say. I think it might be worth finding out more about these people, considering the rumors you have heard, Selenia.
Answer to that question, Pathrax? No.
So, how do we find... Well, I can do some more digging. Perhaps what would be most expected of us at this point is doing a little bit of research into all the interested buyers. That way we're not setting off any red flags that if we're looking into one particular group. Another interesting point. The trade princes haven't made any offers yet.
Not yet. Jack, all the rooms at A8. Look on the map.
We have an A7. We have an A7.
Yeah, but
I'm
all
going
the
this
guest
one.
houses.
Okay.
This is where we find out that you just claimed his bedroom, and you're like, what the?
Is that your way of sending Zarala to bed? Bedtime!
So you've had your 5 minutes extra. Go to bed.
Dad, just one more level.
But
Excuse me.
I don't know. So the other offers we have, the other two, apart from this one, they all came from pretty trusted. Well, the one that I came from someone who seemed pretty trustworthy and someone I would trust in terms of not doing anything massively underhand. I don't know about the offer you had, but this one is definitely one which I would definitely consider further investigation.
Yes,
Mainly in regard to what we've heard.
yes, because from what I'm hearing, this one source seems to be the kind of people that would do, quite frankly, anything to assure that business flows and that they are on top.
Then let's look at this from another way. If we know that they're going to make,
Dangerous.
if we expect that they're going to make some type of attempt, worst case scenario, they succeed. Perhaps we should see if we can find a way to try. While the scroll's in our possession, let's see if there's potentially some way we could mark it or have a way of tracking it should it leave our possession.
Sounds like something for magic and nothing for me.
Exactly.
But
Would we? Is there a way we could potentially track it? Could we mark it in some way magically, or?
I mean, does anyone have locate object as a spell?
It may be in my spell list, but I don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. That I can think of, and well, I don't think any of you guys
Level
have.
of locate objects?
It's lowish level, I think, like level 3, 4 maybe.
I was about to say, remember, that's quite high for me.
You have cast it.
Well, as you know, I am a wizard of much repute and whatnot, and my specific focus is in divination. I have prepared scrying, locate object, locate creature, clairvoyance, arcane sight. If we need to find something, if the scroll ever leaves your possession, I'm always able to assist.
Well, we don't anticipate it doing that, but we just at least if as long as we're prepared, should that happen. Well, how much longer do you think before you have confirmed its authenticity?
I think I am getting close. Another day or two, 3 on the outside.
So whatever is going to happen will be soon. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much for all your help.
Of course. The prospect of this actually being real is exciting beyond words.
What would you do with it if it does turn out to be real, and if you had the opportunity?
If I had it, if it were mine, first, of course, I would visit the paradises within. Even being semi-retired is still a busy life, and it's always nice to get away for a while. But beyond that, I have no use for the hoards of treasure, or certainly no use for any of the possible horrors entombed within. I would rid myself of it for the fairest price I could snag from someone. That way my semi-retirement could be full retirement.
Of course, makes that perfect sense.
But, of course, I would be very picky about who I sold it to as well. Would not want it falling in the wrong hands, having someone unleash some unspoken horror from within.
Unfortunately, once it leaves our possession, it very well could. There's no telling what somebody else would do with it once they have it, whether or not it would be stolen from them, whether or not they would sell it.
True enough.
Anyhow. Well. Honestly, my opinion at the moment is leaning towards doing an exploration ourselves, despite the risks.
I am agree. I'm in agreement.
Yep, me too.
I would agree with that as well.
Oh, so now you're interested in the scroll.
Merely for the well-being of yourselves. Whatever is in there is nothing to do with me. The scroll belongs to you, not me. I am merely... The only thing I could say that I would more care about is keeping people safe. Keeping as many of you safe as I can, and keeping the various villages, towns, and cities across the continent. That's all I care about. I have no need for money. I have no need for riches beyond belief. I have the things that I have, and it's more than satisfactory for myself. The only thing I care about is making sure that the people of this world who are unable to protect themselves from the horrors that could be contained are protected. And the best way for me to do that would be to accompany you and know for myself.
I have a question. Do we know what happened? Do we know what happens to the scroll if we were to go to this demi-plane? Would we be able to take the scroll with us inside, or would it just sit here and allow anyone else to do things with it while we were inside?
So, that is something that Rehan could investigate for you as well. Obviously, he's trying to determine if it is real, and if so, how to activate it. Part of that activation would include what happens with it.
Well, that's the next concern, because if we are to go and explore inside it, which I think we're leaning towards, what's to stop somebody else from mucking with it while we're inside if it stays out? And if it does go inside, we may have just that would ideally be the best hiding spot for it short term. Okay, good enough. At that point, with this, I do think that I should still do the investigation, at least do a little bit of digging around to find out about the groups that have openly made offers about it and just a little bit more information about each of the groups that I can find. That way I'm just looking like I'm doing regular due diligence on potential buyers without making it too obvious that I'm more interested in what's going on with this source group.
Selenia, would anybody go with you? Or would you say you would be going alone, or?
I think Artemis has already expressed that they would probably be hanging around the other dragon, Selenia. As far as anyone else, that's up to them. I wouldn't say no to it.
Okay. If you would be on your own, Zarala would offer to go with you. As obviously there's been some concerns about this one merchant group. However, if other people would be going with you, Zarala would stay here, so that there was someone here to protect the scroll if needed.
Well, that brings up an interesting question. If Artemis is coming along and Artemis is holding the scroll, fun.
Probably easier if the scroll was mobile rather than it being in a fixed location.
Probably that would be
It is with us all the time.
Mm.
Yeah, I would come along with Selenia, and if Zavala does look like she isn't going to be coming along, I would just walk up and say, "You might as well come with. You said you wanted to learn stuff, didn't you?"
Yeah, so that's at least my plan. Try and find out about the source while making it appear that I'm doing a general lookup on all the buyers.
That's fine. I'll probably go and.
So yeah, when you approach Zarala, George, she'll just look at you and go, "Indeed, I've spent too long confined to my village, and I'm here to explore the world. Yes, I think if given the chance and the opportunity, I would very much like to accompany you. Thank you for your offer."
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. And yeah.
All right. So the party's made kind of a group decision to investigate the interested parties for the sake of a good sale, so to speak, in the morning.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That evening, Zarala's going to ask anybody if they would care for a little bit of a game of some kind. If anyone would be interested in joining her for a game of cards.
Sure, why not?
Eliza
Anybody
will
else?
be practicing with her instruments, especially the new lyre that she was able to get hold of.
Okay, so Eliza's being boring.
Why do I picture
I'll
the
still be
scene
in the main, I'll
of?
still be in the main area with everybody else. Like I'll just be there, just providing a bit of music.
Why am I picturing the scene of C-3PO playing that battle chess game with the Wookiee?
I mean, I do have a chess set if anyone would rather play chess.
Yeah, don't play with Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen what Jaren's like when he loses. You don't want to do this.
I do that as a kind of diplomacy check, just like I've seen what happens if he loses his temper.
Oh. But no, I'll just sort of sit at the table, dish out some cards to anybody who wants to play, and I'll throw a couple gold pieces onto the table.
I'll,
You're like, huh.
yeah, I would, I'd play along with you. I'd have a fair bit of experience playing cards from my self-sorting days. There wasn't much else to do a lot of the time.
Just drinking, killing, or gambling.
And and the other, but
Yeah, I'll start off by putting 3 gold on the table.
yeah, I mean, I'd match you, and we can go on from there. I don't think we necessarily need to play out a whole
Yeah.
card game. No offense.
No, I'm just trying to get some gold out of you. No, that's fine. I'm just having a game of cards. It's just what Zarala does. Yeah, that's all Zarala's going to do for the evening.
Excuse me.
So, do you want a high tension game? I can play a song that'll get you right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Or I
Charlie.
can play a Dirge of Doom. You'll both be Jack will be shaken for the duration of the game.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to wake up one morning and just hear Rayhan screaming, "Eureka! I've done it!"
That just reminds me so much of Monty Python's sketch Philosopher's
Mhm.
Fumble. Just the whistle goes and they're all just going around just contemplating.
Yeah.
The Greece versus Germany. It's like, oh look, we got a substitution. We got Karl Marx coming in.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we would just then wait till morning.
So do each of us want to do... I mean, we have at least 3 people in the party who are pretty good at diplomacy. Do each one of us want to make an attempt on one different group, or do all of us want to try and kind of focus on that and use 8 other to help each other out?
I'd probably say 8 other, because that way we've got more of a chance of learning about different groups using each other's knowledge on them. Maybe someone could do a diplomacy check. Maybe someone could do a knowledge of local check or a history check.
That'll be easy for me.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't necessarily think there's a point in all of us doing a diplomacy check.
Yes.
No. I'm suggesting each of us work on potentially on different groups. I don't know if we necessarily need to. I'm thinking the source is the real.
I think it's probably a good idea if we all work on one group together and then all work on another group together. Because that way we've got a better chance of using each other's personal knowledge. Because we might not necessarily all know the same things about one of the groups, you know.
Agreed, but time-wise, we're getting pretty close to when things are going to happen.
We are, but it's not happened yet, so we would have no reason to really want to sort of rush our investigations into who it is. We want to know as much as possible about the people who are looking at buying, surely.
So, you've made your plan for the day?
believe so.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, so you guys had a nice, relaxing evening, played some card games, had a drink, and head off to sleep.
Were we taking shift patterns to watch over, like, defense-wise of the place, or...?
There are magical spells around the perimeter, probably some kind of alarms, so...
We were told this is very magically defended and people can't come in unless invited.
And even if they had ways to bypass it, they'd have to make a lot of noise first. At least, that's what I
Yeah,
was
no.
the impression of.
Oh, fair enough. In that case, yeah, we'll skip that part then.
Alright.
Boy, in terms of rooming arrangements, if there was, since there's an overwhelming majority of females to males, I'll just sleep on this sofa on this couch in the middle of A7, and allow because I've slept worse places.
Duly noted.
I mean, I don't think anyone's sleeping in A9.
That's because that's his room.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. It's just his models.
I mean, if he wants to ask, but no.
Or he wouldn't say no.
Hang on, did we just establish Jaren's gay?
I was aiming that at you.
Yeah.
I was more taking on board George, the fact that George just said, well, if he's asking.
That was
Once again,
joke.
that was aimed at you.
That was a joke anyway. But yeah, so that's in regards to sleep anyway.
Mm.
Okay. So, everyone goes to bed after having a nice night, having discussed the focus of the next day, played some games, maybe had a nightcap or two. The middle of the night.
It's of the night. I can walk in my sleep. Do, do, do.
Jaren, with your perception, you're able to hear not loud, but just a noticeable knock on the door. Kind of wakes you up out of your slumber.
Okay. How long does it take to don medium armor?
Minute or so?
Because I know heavy armor takes a long time. I just can't remember for medium.
Let's see.
Heavy up you can do by yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Dawning takes 4 minutes.
For heavy or medium?
Medium. Well, actually, hold on. Breastplate, scale
Actually,
mail.
I'm pretty sure I'm wearing medium.
Yeah.
What am I
Breastplate
wearing?
and scale mail are both medium armors. What armor do you have?
I think it's. Actually, am I wearing light or medium? I'm not actually sure. I'm wearing a chain shirt. That's actually light. So light. How long does light take?
Light takes 1 minute.
That's. Yeah. Then I will. In that case, I will don my chain armor in just for a minute. Just have my hammer just held by my side and approach the. Yeah, I think it's coming from the front door. Is it?
There is one knock. Yes.
Okay. And I will move towards the door. And I guess I'll start to open it slowly.
Okay. As you reach for the door is opened from within, from without. Jaren, do you currently have? You
Like-
would be. Actually, it's dark, so right now you wouldn't really be able to see very well.
I have dark vision. I think.
Do you?
I think so because I think I took
light
the.
vision.
I have dark vision. Even though I took the racial trait blended view. The one that I took in place of multi-talented.
Got it. Okay.
I have 60-foot dark.
Alright, so then you would be able to see a group of masked individuals wielding swords kind of standing at the ready and as they open the door.
You just made the last mistake of your life.
You've entered into
Okay,
Jaren LA
I
Ray.
presume
Sharon just
roll
opens the
initiative.
door. Can I help you?
I presume roll initiative.
Yes, indeed.
All of us, or just George?
You
I
are
don't-
all currently sleeping.
Yes.
Don't worry. You'll be awoke pretty soon.
Is it because you'll just start screaming? Essentially, he's just like Lurch from the Addams Family, just opens the door like, you rang.
Blind sight work in sleep.
No.
Because you're.
No, you have to be conscious to
Fair's enough. Fair's enough.
Okay. Low roll. Oh well. At least I'm armored still.
Not that that's going to make much difference in about a minute's time.
Yeah, it makes a difference for the moment, anyway. Because for the moment I have a decent AC.
You're messing with the wrong person.
Welcome to the end of your life, and I promise it's going to hurt.
Yeah, you just made the last mistake of your life.
Alright. So, a little unprepared to face an awake opponent, the first two quickly drop their short swords and pull out what look to be almost bags. And let's see, what do they have?
They got smoke pellets.
And they try to actually whip them into an overhand hit at you, but both manage to fail. One is going to try and somersault past you. What is your current CMD?
25. Actually, am I in? Would I have been able to change into one of my stances as I walked to the door?
That depends. Were you anticipating being in a stance?
I would have anticipated being in a fight, or at least probably needing to be in combat. I don't. Like, if you say no, that's fine. I just.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really, you weren't expecting combat, so you wouldn't.
That's fair. It's 25.
Okay. Well, either way, this one fails to try and get past you, so he does provoke an attack of opportunity.
Oh, excellent.
It's like, excellent. How far can the human body fly?
Okay, yes, just do. Okay, right, single attack, do. Just check. This should be everything. So that's a 26 to hit, dealing 27 bludgeoning and 6 acid.
So yeah, this guy tries to kind of tumble past you using the distraction from his allies, but you just kind of catch him right in the gut and send him flying back, and he does not get back up.
It's like,
Might that impact possibly wake someone in perhaps this room, maybe being the closest? Sound of impact upon bone and a body being thrown out, maybe.
Depends how much noise you're making, because I didn't think those, like, if it was clashing metal on metal, that'd be fairly loud, but you just twatted him one.
I mean, concussive force, it's a hammer, it's not like I stabbed him. Clang. But no, it's not perfect, so I'm just curious. Don't worry, once it gets to my turn, everyone will be waking up.
Noise.
So unfortunately, they are wearing leather armor and quite a bit of cloth, so not a lot of sound. Meredith, Eliza, what are your perception bonuses?
Give me a second. My perception bonus is a 10.
is that the total for perception or just the modifier?
Just the modifier.
So.
What was it? My bonus given by wisdom? Yeah, because
So basically, on your sheet, whatever the total bonus is.
10.
So it was in the box at the very beginning.
Yeah,
that number.
it's 10. 5 ranks and wisdom modifier, and then like the alert to give me another bonus.
Perception, isn't it? I'm on a 7.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, not quite any kind of loud enough noise yet for them to have heard and woken up. That being said, having seen the lethality of the attack that you just unleashed, the remaining 3 will pull out a set of hand crossbows.
Okay, that's fine.
Likely poisoned.
Okay.
We'll see.
So one does manage to hit. Where is the? There's the dice. First time I actually had to roll dice.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Only manages to do 3 points of damage as a small bolt embeds itself in the upper bit of your arm.
Okay, so that's with DR2. That's 1 damage. That is literally like
that won't hurt you. Like Jody will do bugger all to you when you're angry.
It's like I think they may have come a little bit
Under-equipped.
just a little.
You might need a bigger caliber weapon if you're going to want to take me on.
Okay. Okay. In that case, what I am going to do is I'm going to rage. Because why not? And I am going to, as I rage, I will also shift into primal hunter stance. I think. Yeah, I'll do into that, and I will also, give me a second. That. So it's got to get all my buffs sorted. I will shout out at the top of my lungs as I get angry. We got company. And then I am going to use my rage power Groundbreaker.
Yeah, we are definitely all waking up now.
Yeah, because you've demolished the staircase and half of the doorway.
No. Maybe.
You have the Lyre building. You can fix it. You can fix it. Don't worry
Yes,
about
I
it.
know.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Groundbreaker. So, I'm going to 5 foot step forward actually, just so I get a bit bigger area around me. So every square around me, I'm going to whack the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to make a DC 15 reflex save or be knocked prone, but the area is now difficult terrain.
First, you must. Well, hold on. I gotta see what.
Demolish the wall.
I attack the floor around me as a full-round action. The attack automatically hits and deals damage normally. If the barbarian deals more damage to the floor's hardness, the space she occupies and all squares adjacent to her become difficult terrain.
That's what I'm checking. I'm checking to see hardness here.
Okay, well, let me roll the attack. Let me roll the attack to get the
It's got an
damage.
adamantine hammer, so it negates the hardness.
I ignore hardness. Ignore hardness on anything that isn't adamantine up to a point, I think.
Oh, well then, yeah, no, never. It's automatically, yeah.
Yeah, so let me roll the damage. Yeah, it should be. Okay, I'm glad that was not an actual roll. Because the attack auto hits, so that roll's redundant. But it's 38 plus 6 damage.
Alright, let me roll some reflex saves.
That should wake us up.
It's
Yeah,
only 15, unfortunately. So they look pretty dexterous. They're probably going to pass, but you never know.
It's more just what you're going to do to that poor sod's house.
Look, it was like this when I found it. Okay.
It's like, look,
They blew the door open and tried to break in, and I defended myself. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah,
I'm certain they had demolition charges.
yeah. And this area is difficult terrain.
We have a
I'm
lot.
also DR6, by the way, now.
Zorala's just going to hear all of this and then is just going to decide, I'm not needed. I'm just going to go back to sleep. He's got this.
I've just got the image, was it you're starting to stir because he's like, ah! And you're like, what was bang? Like, and then just the sound of a part of a wall falling over. Oh, it looks like one of them failed.
Okay, so. Oh, wait, that one wasn't in range. Gotta fix that.
Yeah, it's only. Yeah, I need to get greater Groundbreaker so I can increase the range
So
out by
it would've
5
been-
foot. Because that's,
So basically, the last two that I rolled didn't count. So the two directly next to you do fall prone, though.
nice. Yep. Okay. And
Thank you for finding that one.
You're welcome.
But yes, everyone is absolutely awakened by the commotion, by Jaren shouting and the resulting
Remodeling.
minor explosion from him doing a little construction work.
Look, he just took the whole purpose of like groundbreaking and took it very literally.
these poor people. They had no idea.
Nope, they did not know what they were signing up for when they did this.
But anyhow, so I guess you guys now roll initiative. Since you're in combat. In the combat now, I guess. because this is the end of the round, so we'll go directly in.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay, I have to just change some buffs here.
Thank you.
For once, I actually rolled decent on my initiative.
Hmm.
Normally, it's about half this number.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm about where I normally am in initiative.
Why? Because you like everyone to buff you up, and then you hit people.
I mean, that too. I also only have +2, which means like.
Well, I've got +2 as well.
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
the show.
My,
I joined the team.
my AC, it used to be.
I rolled 18 on the actual on the roll.
Roll INT, right?
Yeah.
You click on your token
first.
first.
I did.
Yeah, then you press it and it should do it.
Yeah,
Nope. I said INT and you guys said yes. That was
Oh,
wrong.
intelligence.
INIT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's initiative. Yeah, sorry about that. But very nice roll.
My bad.
Even with a -1.
I don't see Artemis on the tracker.
Is lifelink actually active?
Yeah, I'm not on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Lifelink would be active. I don't think it would activate what it used to be.
Yeah, Lifelink is definitely not active on anyone.
Yeah, let me.
I mean, what's the point in Lifelink even being active? Don't you need to be at least 5 points down before then?
Yes.
Well, judging by the amount that they're hitting for, it's impossible for them to damage George, considering he's got DR6.
Yeah, but if they have energy or poison, that bypasses it. And even if we aren't.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think everyone is on the board now.
The other possibility to consider is this could be a distraction.
Well, we'll kill them quickly
But
so the
Artemis
distraction
has
doesn't
the
mean
scroll.
much. They don't know that.
No, they don't know that, but we do, so we just need to make sure that Artemis is safe.
Well, Zarala, it is your turn.
Awesome.
Okay.
Describe this window to me.
It's a window.
Can I get out of this window?
Sure.
I mean,
Cool.
you would know the sound would be coming from like this direction.
Yeah.
Also,
Look around from behind.
do you use light or medium armor?
I believe it's light.
So it'll take a minute to put it on. So you would, I guess, be without armor at this point.
One moment, folks. Okay.
We could all argue about Trump all day. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
One of us is gonna end
Destroys
up
friendships.
Anyways, Zarala. So you take your turn clambering out the window and around the house. Got it.
Yes. I have nothing else to do with my actions.
Eliza.
So here in the commotion, I'll get up, grab my flute. So will that be requiring any actions just to quickly grab him as I get up?
Not really.
So go into the corridor. We'll go into the main area. So that would be my move action. I will do a standard action to start Bardic Performance, and I will choose. I think I'm going to choose Inspire Greatness on Jared. So I will need to roll 2d10 to determine his temporary hit die from my performance. 10. Wrong bloody way round. So George gets 12 temporary hit die, or 12 temporary hit health. He goes up by 2 hit die for all effects.
So he gets the 2 hit dice, which are
D10s.
12 plus his Constitution modifiers.
So,
Yeah.
and what's your con
Barbarian's
modifier,
D12.
George?
5.
But Inspire Greatness specifically states they're D10s. Yeah, it says, so Inspire Greatness, so a creature inspired with greatness gains 2 bonus hit die, in brackets, D10s. The constant number of temporary hit die, apply the target's con modifier, if any, to these hit die. So yeah, so it's 2d10 plus his con modifier.
It's 5.
So
Oh,
it
is
would
that
be
plus 10 or is that plus 5?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's to these die, so I think it's to each one because it's 2 separate hit die because you get your health depending on hit die, isn't it?
So it's to each.
Yeah, so it would
Okay,
be
so then that's
you add 10.
27, 22 then. In that case.
Yeah. And then you get a +2 competence bonus on attack rolls and a +1 competence bonus on fort saves. As a bonus, these hit die count as regular hit dice for the determination of the effect of spells that are hit die dependent. So that will be 1 round to start that, and that will be my turn.
Yeah, so I've got 22 temporary hit points, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that's fine. That's 2 more than I had before.
And yeah, +2 to hit and +1 to fort save on.
Yeah, I got it. I got the buff in there. You've done it to me at least once. You've done this once before at least.
Yeah, so it's a good thing I've got it. Yep, that's my turn.
Okay.
Because I moved and then used a standard to start.
So, all of a sudden you see a creature appear and subsequently grow in size.
Looks like a weed.
Whatever it is, it has wings. I dislike it immediately.
Whatever it is, it's going to die.
Fight on the ground, you pussy. That looks like you got wings there. I don't like this.
I was about to say, can we cast flight on you yet?
We have a couple others in the group that have wings.
Yes, but if we can give Jaren wings, he'll be perfect.
We just throw them.
I just cast Kite Fly on him. God's sake.
Try and augment it with
Anyhow,
permanent.
so what's this thing doing? Apart from growing, is it just appearing, growing larger? Is that all it does, or does it do anything else?
Let me take a look here.
No, Jaren, he can swipe you for a one-shot.
If he does, to be honest, I'll be impressed. Like, he's got to do a lot of damage to take me in one shot.
One-shotting a barbarian is not an easy feat.
Okay. So, it being summoned, being enlarged, it will then kind of make some mutterings and let's see, what is it? 10-foot square. All right.
Like friendly fire Cobra.
All right. So in that square, I need you to make a reflex saving throw.
Okay, those are.
As the ground that was crumbled and destroyed begins to soften and become almost muddy.
Okay, reflex. Oh yeah, I'm not good at these.
Let's just cast
Okay,
a spell.
luckily I can roll well. 23.
Believe me, you're still better at reflex than I am. Actually, no, you are not.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I didn't think I would be. So yeah, 23.
Okay.
Hope
So
passes.
you are not stuck in the ground. You are able to lift yourself.
How dare you? Breaking the ground is my thing.
I call copyright.
Yeah, Pethrax, that's your first copyright strike of the day.
Slightly different. He softened it. I literally destroyed it.
So that's weak
Yeah, he
sauce.
softened it, I destroyed it.
So despite all the you actually with the Lyra building can prevent the destruction of ground with that hammer.
Don't think the ground. The building I can, but not the ground because it has to be a constructed.
Walls, roof, floors, and so on.
Yeah, I think. But then
So
it has to be
ground, yeah, you're
manufactured.
probably right. But the building itself you could protect.
Yeah, but I was asleep at the time that you did that, so I can't quite prevent that. And plus, I only grabbed the flute on the way out. Left the lie where it was.
Alright, so these bandits all start attacking Jaren. 3 of them with the sacks again, all missing. 3 with their hand crossbows, all missing.
Ow!
I didn't roll higher than a 10.
Oof.
Neither is his armor class most of the time.
Like, I'm on 14 right now, I'm being honest. Yeah, it's like, I'm honestly surprised.
You can tell that these are not, like, trained or hardened individuals. These are
some high, like, thugs, basically. Well. Yeah.
Alright, Artemis.
You hear angry barbarian noises, and
the building shakes.
A little, yeah.
I'm just gonna stay put.
You're like, go to bed.
Not a bad
Yeah,
idea for the person holding the scroll.
Yeah, I'll just stay
if
put.
I just close my eyes, it will all go away.
And to be honest, that is kind of true because that's how long it takes for Jared to swing this blade the next time round.
Hammer.
Come on, Charlie.
It cuts them in half regardless. So does it matter if it's sharp or not?
To them
it does.
It will.
Well, we're not asking them.
Alright, Meredith.
Okay. Meredith is going to use all her movement to go behind Jared.
Yep.
She's going to put her hand out, touch you on the shoulder, and say, "A little something for you, my friend." And she's going to cast Mage Armor.
Nice. That I would say before you do that, that won't do anything because I am wearing armor.
Oh, will it not? Will it not boost?
No,
you?
because it counts as an AC bonus. As like armor would, it's basically useful for like wizards and people who don't wear armor. So yeah, I would recommend you do something else before you waste a spell slot.
Or use it on yourself.
Yeah, on yourself actually would probably be a pretty good shout.
Well, in which case, I'm not going to go all the way out. I'm going to.
Maybe.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to stand behind or next to Zarara. So I'll bail out the window.
That's right on top of her.
Yeah, well, I'll go next.
Just hello there.
Right? And then I will cast Mage Armor on myself instead.
Alright.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was going to do. See, I yeah.
Thanks, Ian.
What?
Why?
I'm not wearing armor. I didn't have enough time to put it on.
Well, that's
My
your problem.
turn. I'm going in.
You can take a hit.
Oh,
To be fair, we don't necessarily know that this is not your fighting style.
Very true, I suppose. But you saw me the day before with armor on.
That
Now
could
you're
merely
seeing me in my night clothes.
that could merely have been ceremonial.
Anyway, Jack, if they just touch you or anything, or they beat you up at all and you get some injuries, don't worry. You just tell them it's a flesh wound.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna.
Regardless.
You want? Sorry, I honestly did not realise you had no armor on. Otherwise, it would have gone to you instead. But never mind. Done now. And I take it mage armor is one of those things I can only cast
Ian's
on.
moved over to me so he can put the mage armor on me. And then he said, I put it on myself.
I didn't realise you had that on.
Anyhow, okay.
Just stop
Mage
whining
armor,
about
yeah,
it.
it's +4 AC.
I mean, it's fine. I can take a hit. So, plus a lot of my armor
Shut your
class
mouth
comes from my
and go
dodging
towards
the
stuff
other.
anyway.
Yeah.
So-
then then it's Selenia.
Alrighty. Grab my torch, turn it on, get to the center of the room, tell Artemis, keep away from the windows and the doors.
In a room where the door and window is equidistant.
Yep, which is going to be fun, but at the very least, now everyone's picking up a heroism and protection from evil.
Lovely.
Well, I'm pretty sure the people outside won't.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the only person who benefits is me.
No, I've put the aura on there. It's everyone that's outside that front door isn't going to get it.
Yeah, so it's 'cause it's 30 feet, right?
Yep, so currently Eliza, Artemis, and Selenia have the effects.
Nice.
It's nice.
Alright, Jaren.
Okay, this thing that was summoned, is it flying? Is it on the ground? Where is it?
It's not on the ground, but it's basically it occupies the ground space.
Okay, okay. I'm going to use my golden swipe maneuver on the guy in front of me who isn't prone. Let me. My macros bar isn't coming up on top, not like it normally does.
Try going to the macro setting, turn flip it on and off.
Let me guess, Jack, is that you?
With what, me?
I just hear anime stuff in the background, or sounds like.
It's on 5% volume. How are you hearing that?
We are
It's
hearing it
probably
too.
a voice, and so it probably detects a voice and is amplifying it.
I have my noise suppression on. It should not be coming through.
It's a voice, not a background noise. Not what it thinks, anyway.
Anyway, so
I had it on for the last 2 hours.
but yes, I'm doing that with it's
Ooh,
Oh,
that's going to murder.
that's going to be some red mist.
Okay, and who was that targeting?
this guy here. I was going to push him 10 feet that way if he existed at that point.
He existed until the
As
point
I
of
just,
contact.
as I just,
yeah, no,
I-
he goes flying into the wall and
yeah.
is quite just. His back literally ruptures from impact.
Yeah, you see that, Jack?
Mhm.
And I just scream, "Get out of my way!" Bang, and I'm gonna 5-foot step.
You cannot.
here.
You are in difficult terrain.
Yeah, because the square I'm on is.
Because
These guys are prone.
Yes, they are.
That's fine. I'll move next to this thing. I'll risk an attacks opportunity. I think they can still take them. I think they're on the negative. I think for attacking
Ooh.
prone.
Yeah, they take. Well, no. For melee attacks, there's no penalty. It's if they were at ranged.
That's fine. They can.
But one of them does manage to hit.
Okay.
Surprisingly. And it does 5 points of lethal damage. Or, sorry, non-lethal.
I have DR6 anyway.
So, yeah, it does nothing. And the other one fumbled.
Does he twat himself?
Cuts his own hand off.
I'm pretty sure he's using a bag at the
So he sack taps himself. And is sickened for 5 rounds.
They did not. They genuinely did not hire very well, did they?
I mean, to be fair, could they have expected this? I mean, really?
Yeah, they didn't expect. They probably expected the old man to answer the door, not a fully armored, angry barbarian who started swinging.
This is what I.
To be fair, I wasn't angry then, and they did shoot first, so.
You were irritated at first, then you
Yeah,
became like,
You answered the door and said, "Can I help you?" And then they attacked you, and you're like, "Okay, I can help you."
Okay, so you have chosen death.
I posted in memes what I think. What I'm seeing is what Jaren's doing here.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my go. So we're back to the top.
Me
So it's
Zarala.
yeah.
Okay, Zarala is going to move her 5, 10, 15, 20.
It's difficult
And-
terrain.
Oh, okay, maybe not. Then.
And that's also the mud as well.
No. So the red terrain is the mud. The
Yeah,
white
yeah.
area is difficult terrain.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the mud does.
Makes it difficult terrain in a different way.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's very difficult terrain.
15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to do that and use my flowing river eye jutsu strike and attack all 3 of them.
Martin Burr suggestion says the meta pitcher to keep one of them alive.
Okay, so show that movement again.
This one.
There's still this person here too.
I think it was
Okay,
something like
so
that.
you only currently get 2 Aiajutsu strikes from Flowing River Cut.
I read it as I can attack up to whoever's in my path when I move. That's what I.
Flowing River Cut. As a full round action, you move up to your speed, making an Aiajutsu strike during any point during this movement. Does not provoke attack of opportunity. At 8th level, you can instead move up to twice your speed.
you can make any amount of Aiajutsu. Yeah.
So you have to be
In that case,
16th
I'm
level.
in that case, I'll attack this guy and this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and make those strikes.
Attacks. Aijutsu strike number 1 and Aijutsu strike number 2.
which crits it.
That is if a 39 confirms the crit.
I hope so.
I would assume so.
I mean, if the 35 doesn't,
We're not dealing with a thug at that stage.
You're not dealing with the average samurai anymore.
Yeah.
Well, if you miss with that, you are
Yeah.
not dealing with the
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So how do you do it then?
Because they're dead,
No.
I guess.
So, taking advantage of this flowing movement, you have earned a surprise opening, giving you a free attack against one creature within your movement's range.
Wait, are you serious?
So he just
That
gets
is
to
the crit
teleport
that
a
you
30
rolled.
foot.
Okay, I'm gonna. If this is at all possible, I am going to. Can I use Naijutsu? Can I use the Naijutsu technique?
No, this one is just a free
Damn
attack.
Damn it! I was gonna go over and attack this guy with my dispelling strike and dispel magic.
You do not have movement for that.
Oh. In that case, who can I reach? Is it just this guy?
Yep.
Okay, in that case, yeah, I'll just move to him and attack him.
Go for it. No, this is just normal strike.
This is just a normal attack, yeah. Where is my normal attack?
I love that punch. That is just amazing.
That one? Yes. Hang on. Does that still confirm?
I don't
It's a
think.
different.
I don't think fumbles account for crit confirmation because it's not an attack roll.
Correct.
It's,
So it's not an auto fail.
Okay. Yeah.
And for this one, you not only take... He kind of throws his hands up to try and block your attack, but you actually cut his hands off as well as cutting him down.
So that's more just kind of, insult to injury.
Hmm.
Yeah, I imagine this. Watching the two of us fight is very much a diametric opposites. It's like
Yeah.
flowing river, precise cuts and tempered movement. Fucking body slams a guy into a wall, disintegrates him. It's fucking.
Meredith is just standing there leaning
This is
against the wall
literally
saying,
the perfect yin and yang situation right now.
Yes, and your yin and yang has been painted with the blood of the innocent.
I'm just sitting there looking, going, why the hell did I get out of bed?
Yes, Eliza, speaking of which, your turn.
Right. So, can I see this guy? Well, I suppose the wall is gone, so yes.
I mean, the wall isn't gone.
He's probably buried under mounds.
He is prone. He is prone.
He is prone. So he's currently on the ground outside by the stairs that have been demolished.
But can I see him?
Not really, no.
And there's not really much I can do, because if I try to go past that, I will get AOO'd. Yeah, so they could have cleared out another space from the door. Would I be able to... I might move 5 foot step down. Let's see. I can't really see anyone, really, so I can't really even use any spells right now. So I might just stay put. Yeah, I'll just maintain my performance. Yep, that's me.
I'm just popping away for a moment.
Yeah, of course. Azrax?
Yep, just doing some stuff here. Alright, so now it is the creature's turn. And... seeing as Jaren has approached it, it is going to try and swipe at him.
Okay.
Alright. 16 hits, but a 9 does not, I assume.
Yeah, the 16 will, the 9 will not.
Okay. And it will deal 2
I would
points
like
of
to-
damage.
Okay, I will DR. Presumably means that doesn't do anything.
Correct.
And I'd like to use Bloody Riposte as
Go
an
for it.
immediate action. Let me just double check how many D6 is it again? I think it's just an additional 2, I think. Yep. There we are. 27 to hit, dealing 42 damage to acid and 7 just extra. Which I presume is also bludgeoning.
Jaren, just because it's not his turn doesn't mean he doesn't hurt you. Oops.
Yeah, your hammer crushes into this, and it actually seems as if the hammer absorbs some of the material that made this creature before it dissipates in a cloud of dust.
Okay then.
So it didn't even succeed in getting through its first turn.
No, I got 1 turn.
Yeah, but that was to spawn it.
No, because it did the mud thing. You got 1
Oh.
turn.
I just find this so hilarious. Me and George woke, caused havoc. I woke up, came out, caused havoc.
I mean, I still like just the punch, just off into the distance, just dink.
Well,
Alright, then this guy will use his entire turn to stand up without provoking. And this one tries to take a shot off at Zarala, but will miss. And then it is Artemis's turn, but we know
Went
she
AFK, which will just
and she
again
just wants to sleep.
Ah, so peaceful. Ah!
Oh, that must be the alarm clock, the first alarm clock. I'm sure I've got another one set.
Then it'll be Meredith's turn.
Meredith is going to take a step out into the open. And she's going to issue... I'm going to issue an ultimatum, and depending on what they do is depending on what she does next. So she's then going to say, there's 2 left. Surrender or die. Your choice.
They make no reply.
She breathes on them.
Ooh.
It does not... Ooh, does it work? Does it not work?
It's a line.
I mean, even half, I think they're probably fucked.
Yep. Liquefied.
Yep.
They got a chance to surrender!
You're like, that's the requirement of my good alignment. I have offered them the chance. They didn't take it, so I get to brutally murder them afterwards.
Oh, chaotic good, isn't it great?
I was literally going to walk up to him and just hold my sword against his throat and just try an intimidation check and say, "If you so much as exhale, I will cut your head off."
Oh mate, I was gonna pick him up and basically body slam into the wall and be like, "Fucking mate, who the fuck do you work for?" But don't worry about
Like,
that.
why don't you just do a power bomb or something? Just like WWE.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, Okay, I guess are we still in initiative? I guess we'll have to, because I guess we probably want to just check everywhere else in case someone else tried to get in.
Yes, I suppose we better do a routine search of the building and grounds.
I would like to check the bodies. Well, what's left of the bodies.
Yeah,
Like, how did they get in? Because if they had magical defenses,
Well,
they
check
must
the
have had
gate.
magical means of bypassing.
Well, let's check the gate.
Yeah, so I will pretty much be saying to try and investigate how the hell they got in and what gear could have allowed them to get in.
Can I detect magic then?
I'll open my door to see what's going on outside once it's my turn again.
Okay, so yes, it is Selenia's turn now.
5-foot step and open the door. Ready for whatever's going to be there on the other side to greet me, which is a crumbling building.
It's not that bad. Not far off, but it's not that bad.
Yes, so you, Selene, walk out and see Eliza standing outside of her room. The entryway seems to be it's got a couple of cracks, and you can see that the stairs are not there anymore.
Jaren was here.
Here, there, and everywhere. You also started painting the fence.
This lovely shade of red, huh?
Oh, yes.
Well, it's a lovely shade of red with some sort of wet liquid on top of other wet liquid on top of it. Because I'm guessing that the acid spray will have.
Oh, it looks yellow.
Yeah, the acid spray will have done something to the blood on the wall.
I was more thinking the yellows on their outfits beforehand.
Bring them their brown pants.
Thank you for the Deadpool.
Yes.
That guy got the right idea.
He wore the brown pants.
Alright, anything else, Selenia?
Well, pretty much opening the door and being ready for whatever's there, trying to keep Artemis protected because Scroll. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, Jaren.
I guess I'm gonna double move up this way and basically just keep an eye out to see if I see anyone. See, I'm basically gonna move up to like here just to see if I notice any more commotion or noise.
Okay.
So there was some roaring and grunting, and now it's pretty quiet.
So, Jaren, you run around the house, on the lookout for the next set of enemies, but you do not see anything.
Okay.
Zarala.
Zarala's. Zarala's going to sort of say to herself, "Where's Rayhan?" And she's going to sort of go in search of Rayhan into the building.
Okay, do know that area is difficult terrain, takes double movement.
Okay.
Were you just jumping through the
Or
window?
you're jumping in the window instead.
Yeah.
The unopened window. That is
Yeah,
on
'cause
your
I
side.
did not open the window.
I did not go out of that window. I went out the other window.
So around you go.
Why can't I just jump through that window?
Because it's
Because
closed.
it's locked and closed. I mean, you could always try and break the window by jumping into it.
No, I'll just double move. So that's 5,
Your luck.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There you go. Let's just move.
Okay, so that puts you at 35 feet of movement right there.
Can I double move?
Sure. That would give you another 25 feet.
There?
One more. There you go. Alright. Eliza?
Okay, so 5 foot step to here, then I'll make a movement. So 10, 15, no, not 15, 20, then 30.
Got it.
Then I will possibly start looking to see. Are there any bodies near my location?
Yes.
There's one there. There's one there.
There's
one
there.
One there. There's one
Everywhere,
here.
really.
There's one here. There's a thing here that was a
Okay.
body. It's about
First-
half.
Yeah. One body is not really accurate anymore.
I killed that one and that one.
So I'd
Then
like to
there's-
do
then
some
there's a couple
detect
big
magic
ones like
scanning
that.
on the.
That still only counts as one.
I would like to detect magic on the bodies of the ones that are, somewhat still intact.
Okay.
So so I'm scanning for magical items.
Okay, so this is the first round. You do notice that each of them carries one small aura right now.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's go do this. All right. Then it's Artemis's turn.
Artemis is still AFK.
So we assume still sleeping. And Meredith.
Meredith is going to use her. Am I going to do that? Am I going to do that? Do you know what? I am going to do that just in case. She's going to use blind sense 30 feet to see if there's anything around that she can't see.
You don't need to use an action. That's just a thing you have. Isn't
Inherent.
it? Blind sense. Yeah.
So if I, yeah, so
Unless,
with
unless it says something else.
no, well, I've never used it before, so I don't know how it works. So
It might
yeah,
just be constant.
Yeah, it's a
So,
constant.
so is my blind sense pinging at all?
No.
No. In which case, she is. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? She will. She'll double move up to the back of the house in a pincer movement with Jared. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 feet. And just looking where she goes.
Oh, yeah, to clarify, my bardic performance is no longer in effect, just because nobody else is really here anymore.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah,
Meredith
I've got
walking around the other side of the house.
I was there. And I moved 60 feet to up there.
Right. Yeah. Walking around the house, again, kind of like with Jaren, just looking for something. There seems to be no one else here where you are.
And blind sense hasn't twigged to call at any point during that walk. Right, okay. Should we check on the well-being of the hired hand in A6?
Is
That might be.
is everyone all right? What happened?
No, never mind. Go back to sleep.
I was just going to say, Jared happened.
I can see as much.
Not worry. Those who came knocking have been dealt with.
Wait a minute.
Door closed. Good enough.
You're just going, close.
I mean, what else am I going to do? Jaren dealt with it.
All right, Jerry.
Pace does not answer questions.
I guess since I don't see or hear anything, I'm going to head back around.
Realistically, at this point, I'm going to try and wake up Artemis.
Said, no, 5 more minutes.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move through back into the house. Double move. I'm also gonna end my rage as well, because I don't think I need it anymore.
Okay.
Were you fatigued for like the next couple of rounds?
I am. Let's see. I'm fatigued for a minute.
Yep. All right.
Oh, was that a battery?
Zarala.
Zarala is going to continue to, step forward into Rayhan's room to make sure he's okay.
He is not in his rooms.
You knew it. Okay, upstairs to his study then.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 gets you into the staircase, and it would take another, let's see. It would take another 30 to reach the 3rd floor. And as you are going up the stairs, you hear the sound of boots on the stairs above you.
Ow.
Sorry, say that again?
As you are climbing the stairs, you hear the sounds of footsteps above you.
I will continue upwards.
Alright, so you make all your movement up to that point. Eliza.
Second round. So continuing the detection, so...
Okay. So you knew the presence of the auras. You now know that there's exactly one on each one, and all of them are of the same potency.
Okay, so I'm not really going anywhere.
Okay, then
Princess'
Artemis.
son is needing stuff right now, so that's why she's taking a while.
Understood. Alright, Meredith?
Nothing out the back, so Meredith is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. She's going to double move into the house, going through the window that Zalaria went out of.
People just diving in and out of windows. Can't use a door like a normal person.
It's quicker.
All right.
And I'm just going to call out, is everyone okay?
I'm probably still focusing on my magic right now, so can't really respond that easily.
No, that's fair enough.
I would say I'm fine, but we need to check everywhere.
Agreed.
Artemis is still sleeping. Someone needs to watch her. At this point in time, I think I will take the opportunity to start getting better equipped as far as armoring up and everything like that. That'll take some time, but if we are still going to be having problems, it's better to be ready. And since I'm stuck in here anyway at the moment, let's do it that way.
All right. Jaren?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to switch to my running hunter's stance as a swift action, giving me a 10-foot enhancement bonus into my movement speed. And so in that case, I now have 50-foot movement speed, which means I'm going to double move 100 feet up the stairs. And if I also hear the sounds as I go up, I'm going to keep going as well, however far 100 feet gets me.
Mm-hmm.
The thug opens the door. There's Jaren, who's like, oh, it's happening for the second time today.
What do you want, Pipsqueak? This. Bang!
All right. So, Jaren, kind of rushing up, just literally running up the stairs two at a time. You blow past Zarala.
I'm doing the same thing.
Also, I have
Yeah, but he's faster.
I also have the scent ability. If there's any particularly strong smells, as I noticeably feel, as I move, I look a bit more animalistic. I'm slightly hunched over and kind of running. You see, the thing is, you're checking the people inside. I'm just yeeting my way up to the roof.
True.
He's
Boy,
like,
can't wait to throw some people off a roof.
he's going to body slam them off the top rope.
Oh,
I like that. Just as an idea, he just goes.
and it's Zarala with a steel chair.
Table.
Okay,
Was it
so
some black and white striped shirt comes out? Just 1, 2, 3.
Okay. As I was saying, so Jaren, you go running up the stairs, hauling ass two at a time, blow past Zarala, and actually make your way all the way to the rooftop, burst out the door just in time to see two thugs and a short, round individual standing on the edge of the rooftop.
Mate, I hope you enjoy the trip down.
I'm going with you.
Okay, that's all my movement. That's all I can do. I will. I'm gonna I will, upon seeing them with my hammer in hand, just release an animalistic snarl in the stance I'm in, and kind of sniff the air almost, just
Okay.
as I have the bloodied hammer in my hand.
All right, Zarala.
Going down.
Have I just seen? What have I just seen?
You just saw Jaren kind of hunched over, kind of looking a little primal, and he whipped past you.
Okay, I am in response. I am going to run up the stairs after him as quick as I can.
Running upstairs sounds healthy.
So it takes you
Yeah.
20 feet of movement to get behind him. And you come onto the scene as well. You see two thugs in front of him, and then another one off to the edge. This one, however, to you recognize this as the halfling that you met in the market.
I'm just going to look at him. You have no idea the mistake you've made barging in here. And is there any chance I could do an Ajutsu strike, or do I not have the ability to do that right now?
I mean, you're all the way on the other side of the roof.
Okay, in that case, I'll end my turn. And I'll just leave it to Jaren.
You could ask Jared to throw you at him.
Toss me!
Oh, look, he has a ranged.
Elf.
He's a ranged attack. He's got a piercing ranged attack.
Call it the flying samurai maneuver.
The whole cloaky maneuver.
I'm sure there's something in that book of Zars that would fit that description.
What do we have in here that?
So if you throw somebody with a sword, does the sword become a long-range weapon at that point?
Well, it's a weapon with reach.
Peter.
Technically, does
Bruce's magnificent missile.
I just hold my sword like a spear in front of me, and just George holds me and just fights with me as an extended sword.
That's how you get. Well, technically speaking, if he throws you, does that mean that your weapon is a returning weapon because you just walk back to him for another go?
But he could just try and chuck your sword at him.
Not a chance.
No, he would be going with his sword.
No, we just stayed outside.
I will end my turn here because I don't think there's anything else I can do. Not that doesn't require an action that I just don't have available.
Okay.
There you go, Cruiser's magnificent missile.
I will try if I can to intimidate. Although my diplomacy is so much better.
Are you going to convince them to be scared of you?
Actually, yeah, that wouldn't work in this situation.
Sharon used.
I'm gonna risk it and go for an intimidation check because it's all I think I've got available to me at the moment.
Okay, go for it.
Oh.
I don't have any points in it yet, and I don't know why I didn't put any points in it because I could have that very high.
Not as high as me.
So, following your statement, the halfling turns and says, I know exactly what I'm doing. And since Eliza, I'm sorry, but since there's not really anything you can do at this point.
Well, I was. It's my third round of checking the item.
Right, so that's what we'll do, but for the purpose of this narration, I'll come back to it.
Very well.
He reaches into his clothes, pulls out a piece of parchment, and steps into a doorway of light that appears in front of him and disappears. Now, Eliza, going back to you.
Mine take 10 bonus will be give me 27 on the check. So I'm pretty sure I will be successful. Because I don't think I'm under stress or duress, so I should be able to take the time to analyze it. Because as far as I'm aware, there's no other people here.
Yep, so you get Conjuration School.
Okay, so obviously I'll want to keep going to find out what the actual spell itself is, but of course I'll have to wait till next round.
No, that's part of this round. That would be a spellcraft check.
Okay, so spellcraft, where are you? There you are. 29.
Alright, so they all seem to have something with a Cure Moderate Wounds effect.
So they all have a one-use moderation to cure moderate effect?
You'd surmise that it's a potion at this point.
Ah, so it's not kind of a pendant that so bypasses it, so yeah. But nothing else on them. So they all had a cure moderation wounds on them.
Yep.
Okay.
Not that they lived long enough for that to matter.
No, they didn't even get time to even know what there was going to kill them. I mean, one knocked on the door, and then Jaren knocked on him.
No, Jared knocked on the ground.
I think he knocked it for the first one, and then groundbreak it afterwards.
Maybe.
But either way, still funny. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. Meredith?
When Zoralia left Raihan's bedroom, did she close the door behind her, or was she in such a rush to get up the stairs she left it open?
Yeah, everything would have been left open. No one's closed anything yet.
I would know that that room's been looked into, potentially. Correct. Right. In which case, knowing what I know is downstairs, I'm going to stand in front of... I'm going to stay where I am and guard the front door of the room containing Selenia and Artemis.
Got it.
Hand in pocket.
Alright. So on these guys' turn, they both swing at you, Jaren, with their sacks. One of them actually manages to smack you square in the face, dealing 4 points of non-lethal damage, 1 point of constitution damage as he knocks a couple of your teeth out.
Okay.
So you only take the con damage.
Yeah, the other one does 3 points of non-lethal damage, so not that any of it matters with your DR, but... We'll assume Selenia is still guarding Artemis for the time being.
Artemis is here. I think.
I'm good with that choice. I don't know if there's anything I can actually add to this.
So, Jaren.
Okay. I am going to use a Furious Primal Wrath on the in front of me. Because I feel like it. One thing, I also use a swift action to shift out of Hunter's stance into Primal Warrior. I'm no longer doing that, no longer doing that, no longer doing that, still have that. Okay, and yeah. And then, having done that, I'd like to turn to the other one, raise the blood smeared, gore smeared tip of my hammer towards him, and just go. If you want to live, you will drop your weapon and surrender. And I'd like to roll an intimidate, please.
Go for it.
Aww.
Yeah, not a better.
If
Intimidate.
he gets
is
the
not-
feat that allows him to turn it into a strength skill, then it'll be very scary.
Yeah. So this guy, he is scared, but he is not moving.
Nah, that's fair.
Zarala.
Who's closest to me? Is there any way that I can see what's going on so that I can?
I mean, you saw everything that's going on.
So can I just flowing river cut and attack all of them?
There's
only one.
There's only
Jaren
one.
took care of things.
Jaren happened. There's not many
Okay.
left.
In that case, I'm going to use my hidden slash Ijutsu strike.
Okay.
It's a bad roll.
Weapon notes deadly.
It's like, I was about to say, most weapons generally are.
What does your hidden thing do?
Basically, the Ijutsu strike doesn't go off until I tell him it goes off. It basically is Omaewa Moshindeu.
Just remember, not everyone is much of a weeb as you are, Jack, so you might need to translate that.
I got that.
Yeah, basically, when I decide for the cut to happen, it happens. I could leave it for days if I wanted to.
Presume there is a limit on it.
There is, but I have a lot of time, believe me.
You get to delay the effect for a number of minutes equal to your charisma modifier. Now, that being said, I'm going to say that you kill him because you do.
Why would you just delay that at this point?
Yes. And it is at this point that I do have to take that break. So we will be back in a couple of hours. I will shoot a message out to everyone to let them know. Looking like 11:30 right now.
Yeah, so back about
An hour and a half. An hour and a half.
Hour and a half to 2 hours, yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, fine with me.
Oh,
Confirm on me.
Yeah.
Then we will see you guys in a bit.
See
Okay.
you in a bit.